Your quads aren't growing. You've been squatting for months, maybe years, and when you look down, the same flat surface stares back at you. No sweep, no definition, no separation, just legs that do the job and nothing more. Here's what's actually happening. A standard squat is not a quad exercise. It's a hip exercise that involves your quads. There's a difference, and until you understand that difference, you can squat every day for the rest of your life and your quads will stay exactly where they are right now. The quad has one primary job, extending the knee. It is at its most active and most capable of growing when the knee is deeply bent and the quad is loaded in that lengthened, stretched position. Standard squats, especially the flat-footed, upright kind most people default to, limit that knee travel. Your hips and glutes pick up the load, your quads do partial work at a partial range, and partial range produces partial results. In this video, I'm giving you 4 movements you can do at home that specifically load your quads in the position where they actually grow. The deep, stretched knee forward position. No leg press, no squat rack, no equipment beyond your body, and a wall. And stay with me through movement number 3. It's an exercise barely anyone outside of elite sport knows exists. And according to research, it produces more quad muscle growth than almost any other single movement ever tested. That one. In the 1970s, exercise scientists began studying the quad development of Tour de France cyclists, athletes who developed some of the most impressive leg mass in the world without ever touching a barbell. What they found was striking. The cyclists who use the deepest pedal stroke, where the knee drives far forward over the foot at maximum load, had significantly greater quad fiber density and cross-sectional area than those who used a shallower stroke. The difference wasn't total training volume, it wasn't intensity. It was the range of motion at the loaded position. Specifically, how far forward the knee traveled under load, and how deeply the quad was stretched while carrying that load. This finding aligns with what sports scientists now call stretch-mediated hypertrophy, the principle that loading a muscle at its longest, most stretched position produces significantly more muscle growth than loading it in a shortened position. A 2022 study measuring this effect in the legs found that subjects training at the long muscle length grew 3 times more quad tissue over the same training period than subjects training at the short muscle length. 3 times. Same exercises. Different range of motion. Every movement in this video is built on that principle. Movement number 1, the heel elevated squat. Most people squat with flat feet. That is the first problem. When your heels are flat on the floor, your ankle mobility, which most men over 35 have lost from years of sitting at a desk, limits how far forward your shins can travel. And when your shins can't travel forward, your knees can't drive forward. And when your knees can't drive forward, your hips take over. Every time. Elevating your heels by 2 to 3 centimeters, a folded towel, a thick book, any small wedge removes that limitation entirely. Your shins travel forward freely. Your knees move past your toes the way they were designed to, your torso stays upright, and suddenly your quads are carrying the majority of the load instead of handing it off to your glutes and hips. Here's how to do it. Stand with your heels elevated and feet shoulder width apart. Squat down as deep as you can, thighs parallel to the floor or below. Pause for 2 full seconds at the bottom. Drive back up to the top through your entire foot. Chest stays up the whole time. You will feel the burn in the front of your thigh immediately. That's exactly where you want it. Week 1, 3 sets of 10 reps. Week 4, 4 sets of 20 reps. Add a light backpack for resistance once body weight feels easy. Movement number 2, the sissy squat. This movement was used by the greatest quad developers in the history of strength training. It was considered essential for building the sweep and definition in the lower quad, the part most people never develop, no matter how much they squat. Here's what makes it completely different from everything else. In a sissy squat, your hips stay in line with your knees throughout the movement. You're not hinging at the hip. You're tilting your entire body backward as your knees drive forward, which creates the deepest possible stretch in the rectus femoris, the long head of the quad that runs from your hip all the way down to your knee. No other movement stretches this muscle the way the sissy squat does, and stretched under load is precisely where it grows. Here's how to do it. Hold a door frame or the back of a sturdy chair for balance. Start standing tall. Push your hips forward and simultaneously bend your knees, letting your body tilt backward in a straight line from head to knee. Drive your knees as far forward as they'll comfortably go. Lower until your thighs are as close to parallel as you can manage. Then drive back up through your quads alone. It will feel unfamiliar the first time. Do it slowly. Your range of motion will increase week by week. Week 1, 3 sets of 6 reps. Week 4, 4 sets of 12 reps. Quick question before the next movement. Which of these 2 exercises have you actually tried before? Drop your answer in the comments. I read every single one. Movement number 3, the reverse Nordic curl. This is the one most people have never seen. And it is, according to current sports science research, one of the most effective quad building exercises ever tested. More effective than the leg extension machine. More effective than standard squats at the same load because it loads the rectus femoris, the quad muscle that crosses both your hip and your knee, at its absolute longest, most stretched position. And that's exactly where the growth signal is strongest. Here's how to do it. Kneel on a mat with your feet anchored under a sofa or a heavy piece of furniture. Your body is upright at the start. Now, using only your quad strength to control the movement, lean your entire body forward, keeping your hips completely open and your torso in a straight line from your knees to your shoulders. Lower yourself as slowly as possible. Aim for 3 full seconds. When you can no longer hold yourself, catch your weight with your hands on the floor in front of you. Then use your quads to pull your body back up to the upright position. The eccentric portion, the controlled lowering, is where the overwhelming majority of the growth stimulus comes from. Slow is not optional here. Take every rep as slowly as you possibly can. Week 1, 3 sets of 4 reps with maximum control on the way down. Week 4, 3 sets of 8 reps. Movement number 4, the split squat with pause. Unilateral training means each leg has to carry its own load with no help from the other side, and the pause at the bottom eliminates all momentum, which forces your quad to hold the load isometrically at the stretched position. No bouncing, no elastic rebound, just your quad, loaded in the one position where it has to grow or fail. Here's how to do it. Stand in a split stance, 1 foot forward, 1 foot back, no bench required. Lower your back knee toward the floor under complete control. At the very bottom, pause for 2 full seconds and hold the position. Do not relax at the bottom. Do not shift the weight back onto your rear leg. Stay in it. Then drive back up through your front heel to the top. The 2-second pause is not optional. That's where the actual work happens. Without it, this is a decent exercise. With it, it's something else entirely. Week 1, 3 sets of 8 reps per side. Week 4, 4 sets of 12 reps per side. Add load, a backpack, a water jug, when body weight becomes easy. So here is your complete quad system. Heel elevated squat, sissy squat, reverse Nordic curl, split squat with pause. 4 movements, 0 equipment beyond a mat and a wall. Every single one loads your quad in the deep, stretched, knee forward position, which is the only position where significant quad development actually happens. You are done with partial range hip dominant movements that do the work your quads should be doing. Train this 3 times per week with 1 rest day between sessions. Week 1, focus entirely on range of motion. Get as deep as you can on every movement, every rep. Week 2, add reps. By week 4, your quads will have received a more direct, more complete training stimulus than any amount of standard squatting ever gave them, and without a gram of unnecessary spinal compression. The cyclists didn't build their legs on a leg press. They built them through full range, stretched, knee-forward movement, loaded thousands of times. These 4 exercises replicate that exact principle. The equipment was never the point, the position was. Which of these 4 movements are you trying first? Drop it in the comments. I read every single one. If you want more training that actually produces results after 35, hit subscribe and turn on notifications.